Nice. Awesome. I wanted to make a video, screen share style video about using Nova Mira, which is an AI powered connector bridge between your preferred LLM. I'm using Claude Code today and WordPress. There's probably a lot of videos online about using Nova Mira, using AI within WordPress to make quick changes, things like that. But at our digital marketing agency, we have definitely fell in love with this tool. We don't often um, we don't often build WordPress websites anymore, given that Claude Code and AI has really made it so where you don't have to use WordPress, and that's preferable. But we've created a lot of WordPress websites in our agency's history, and so we're jumping into this one today. I'm going to show you exactly how a client requested 1 hour ago, actually, a new gravity form and a new page on the website. Very simple. Takes a developer, I don't know, and in 2 hours to probably do it, or an hour if they're really quick and good, and that's the only thing they're doing. But using AI, bouncing between different things, you can quickly kind of get the executables out of the way and do some, what's the word, Q&A. So I'm going to just explain my setup here, and then we're going to dive right in. On the left, you'll see WordPress. We're working with an organization called Breast Friends, Breast Cancer Survivor Support. They're awesome. They're out of Portland, Oregon. Love their website. I will show you here. This is their contact page. Absolutely love their organization. On the right side of my screen here, I've got Claude Code and Terminal. You can use Claude Code Desktop with NovaMira plugin or with any type of any kind of thing we're doing today. I just prefer Terminal. NovaMira is a go to novamira.ai. Not going to go down that rabbit hole, but it's an amazing bridge between your AI and WordPress, and it's very, very powerful. And it's not just little changes, like it can do speed optimizations and whole anything that can be done in WordPress. It's baffling. So I'm gonna pop over here to the right, and I'm just gonna scroll up because I started to do this and I'm like, I gotta make a video of this. The client requested a financial assistance form. This is one that they threw at us because they're like, this has everything we need. This is not ours, but we want something exactly like this because it's for an organization, same vein of work. Can you do this on our website? What would it take? And that was an hour ago, and I just jumped in now 10 minutes ago and just did it. And this is what the process looked like. I went on the right side of my screen here, Claude Code connected to Nova Mira MCP. You can get familiar with that. If you do end up going with Nova Mira, it walks you through it. It's very easy. It's not technical, copy and paste kind of stuff. And then I just told it exactly what I told you. I want to create this form that we've got here. They sent me a URL of this form. They want to have it on their website. Da, 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 da. Nova Mira did all this really cool stuff really quickly and did two things. It went into the back of the WordPress website, or went into WordPress, and it created a page to support it, and it created gravity forms. We have gravity forms back here. Gravity forms to mimic it. So I want to show you. I won't dive into the gravity form because it is created and it set all the fields appropriately, like the notifications field and the confirmation. Did that all really quickly, but this is what it pumped out. I'm gonna need to probably refresh this page because I was playing with it. But let's go into, get my face out of the way. Preview. This is like a first draft, right? This is where humans are still very much integral into this process. Is that it can get us like 90% of the way there, and then we have to do the quality control. So, all right, jumping into here. Here's what it kicked off right off the bat, and I will tell you, it's super creepy. This is a brand new page. It's in draft mode, but the website also has existing something called a HUGS, financial assistance for folks that are undergoing cancer, breast cancer, and don't have the money for whatever reason for different things, I guess. So that is, it already has this program. So what Nova Mira and AI did is it took this form for a whole different organization. It found that the one I'm developing for here already had some info, so it already grabbed all that stuff and then created the form right down here. Wonderful form. I mean, there's some spacing issues here, but like I said, getting us 95% of the way in a fraction of the time while I'm eating lunch is pretty cool. And I spot checked this form versus that one. This is a little prettier, yeah, but that's just that's that 5% left over. Excellent. You can mm, see some possible bugs here. This is important to test out your stuff when AI does it. See, this is the spot check. Still very happy with it because, yeah, excellent. Still very happy with this because it got us 95% of the way there. And then instead of going in and manually doing stuff, sometimes that can be easier. But if you iterate within Claude Code, for example, check this out. This is a bug that I found live time on this video. I'm just going to talk to text with the right side of my screen and I'm going to iterate. I'm going to say, okay, so the form looks good, but every time I click on a radio button, for example, insurance type, if I click on Medicaid, boop, perfect, come back here. It automatically scrolls me back to the top of the page. Is that a bug and can you fix that? Also, I noticed this when I was scrolling through it. Hold down my spacebar, love talk to text, right into Claude Code. The options for the radio buttons, do you think you could add 5 pixel buffer between them? They're really scrunched close together. Lastly, can you put the form in a container and make the background of that form slightly lighter than the background that you have in that section so that you can tell that the form's a separate element very easily? Let it workshop that, right? So I click on that. I'm going to go and do something else. Usually on my left-hand screen, I've got other projects that I'm working on. That's kind of the power of Nova Mira using AI within WordPress environment, being connected like this. Couple words of caution if you do this as it's loading there. Nova Mira is a very powerful tool here. We actually went in and bought the agency Forever Pricing because it was so impressive right out the gate. But my word of warning is I've broken a lot of websites that one change cascaded and it killed the whole thing very easily. And if you don't have the right guardrails, backups, if you are playing on a live site, you're definitely gonna run into those problems. So you got to make sure you know your environment well enough to not tank everything that you've done. But also, it's important to use it in a staging environment. If your server hosting allows, clone your website, use Nova Mira there, and just push the updates. Don't do it on the live site. Right now, I created a full backup for this website. That's right before I started this, so I feel very confident that I'm going to be able to do this with no damage at all. But good word of warning for anyone else looking at this. Right. All right. So I'm gonna chill on this page and pause until Claude Code is done, if I can. All right, so we're back and it just did that momentarily. Pause the video, and this is what it did. It put space in between these. It didn't fix the bug. I want to be open about that. It did make it pretty, but it did not fix the bug where it scrolls on the top. So you're gonna have to iterate again. I like to be open and transparent. These things, the tools are still, they are what they are. That's why humans are still necessary to be in the loop. But it's fantastic it got me this far. So anyways, guys, check it out. If you have any questions about this or you want to talk about this, super open to it. I love how AI is changing our digital agency's workflow. Would love to hear how it's changing your workflow. Bye.